This lesson is for Mrs. Cucci's College Now Pre-Calculus class. We are on lesson 6.3b. So if you want to go ahead and get your notebooks open, we're going to start right away. So in 6.3a, what we did is we talked about proving trigonometric identities. We're going to continue on. We're going to do another example of ones that we did last time around. And then we're going to move on to product to sum and sum to product identities. So that's what we're going to be looking at. Okay. So let's take a look at another example. And this is example 5, picking up from last time around. And we're going to prove the identity cotangent theta plus cosecant theta equals sine theta over 1 minus cosine theta. Okay? So we need to choose the side that we would like to work with. So I think the side that we should probably work with is cotangent theta plus cosecant theta, because we know they're reciprocal trig functions. So cotangent is equal to cosine theta over sine theta, and cosecant is equal to 1 over sine. Okay, and those you guys have known now for the past 2 years, so that should be pretty quick. Since this already has a common denominator for us, we can go ahead and rewrite it as one fraction. All right, so at this point, we're going to stop because there's not really much else we can do there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and work with this right-hand side of the equation and see what we can do over here. All right, so sine theta over 1 plus cosine theta. What we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to just make it look different from what it looks like right now. We're going to do that by multiplying by 1. Now, when I say multiply by 1, we're not going to multiply by necessarily the number 1, but something that's equivalent to 1. And in this case, it would be the conjugate. Okay? So the conjugate is going to be 1 plus cosine theta, 1 plus cosine theta. Okay? So when we do that, in the numerator, we wind up with sine theta plus sine theta cosine theta. Or, even better, let's wait here. Let's keep that numerator and just look at the denominator to start. Because if we think about it, cosine theta plus 1 and then cosine theta plus 1 is over here. I want to see if I can't maybe get rid of this sign. So 1 times 1 is 1 minus cosine squared theta. Okay, so what should be jumping out at you is this 1 minus cosine squared theta. Again, that's from your Pythagorean identity. Okay, 1 minus cosine squared theta equals sine squared theta. Okay, so I'm bringing down my step here. So what winds up happening is that I have 1 sine in the numerator, 2 in the denominator. Those are going to cancel. And I'm going to be left with cosine theta plus 1 over sine theta. And that's going to equal cosine theta plus 1 over sine theta. So we have proved our identity. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is the product to sum and sum to product identities. Pardon me. Okay, so what those are is we're taking a product, like sine x times sine y, and it's going to equal a sum. So 1/2 times cosine of x minus y minus cosine of x plus y. Okay, so that's the first one. We have cosine x times cosine y, and that's going to equal 1/2 cosine of x minus y plus cosine of x plus y third one is sine x cosine y. That's going to be equal to 1/2 sine x plus y plus sine x minus y. And our last one, cosine x sine y, equals 1/2 sine x plus y minus sine x minus y. Okay, so those are your product to sum identities. And let's take a look at how those work. Okay, so my next example is example 6. I want to find an identity. Oops, sorry about that. For 2 sine 3 theta cosine 7 theta. Okay. So what we have here is 2 times cosine x, or sine x cosine y. Okay. So we're talking about cosine x sine y. Which identity do we wind up using? Cosine x sine y. Okay, so we're going to be taking a look at how we manipulate this. Or sine x cosine y, I should say. Sine x cosine y. Okay, so sine x cosine y is right here. So we're going to take that identity and utilize it. So here's our identity. Okay, so in this case, x is 3 theta and y is 7 theta. So we're going to plug directly into that. Now, since our original was 2 times, we have to make sure that we also multiply the whole identity by that, by 2. Okay, so 2 times 1/2 sine of 3 theta plus 7 theta. Plus sine of 3 theta minus 7 theta. Okay, so this reduces to 1, and I get sine of 10 theta plus sine of negative 4 theta. And since I know sine of negative x equals negative sine x, right? That's one of our identities from before. That's how we deal with that negative being in there. We can say that sine of 10 theta minus sine of 4 theta. Okay, so that's how we use that identity. Okay, so the other identity we're going to look at is going to be our sum to product. We just did product to sum, so now we're going to look at sum to product. And we have 4 of those as well. So we've got sine x plus sine y, so our sum, and we're going to our product, 2 times sine of x plus y divided by 2, cosine x minus y divided by 2. And again, make sure you're getting all of these identities written down. Sine of x minus sine of y is equal to 2 cosine x plus y divided by 2. Sine of x minus y divided by 2. Cosine of y plus cosine of x. 2 cosine of x plus y divided by 2. Cosine x minus y divided by 2. And the last one, cosine of y minus cosine of x equals 2 times sine of x plus y divided by 2. Sine of x minus y divided by 2. So again, please make sure that you get those written down. look at example number 7. We want to find an identity for cosine theta plus cosine of 5 theta. Okay, so the identity that we're going to wind up using is going to be cosine of y plus cosine of x. Okay, so our y is theta and our x is 5 theta. We're going to take that and plug that directly into our identity. So cosine of y plus cosine of x is right here. So this becomes 2 cosine 5 theta plus theta over 2. Cosine of 5 theta minus theta over 2. Or 2 cosine 6 theta over 2. Cosine of 4 theta over 2. Which reduces to 2 cosine 3 theta, cosine 2 theta. And that's your identity. Okay, so please make sure that you record any questions that you might have and come prepared to class tomorrow with those questions. And I will see you guys then. Thank you.